Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So in today's episode, what I want to do is I want to go over me ascending one of the Generation 1 Legends, Ray, to 4 stars. Now, last week you saw that I was able to get it to 2 stars, and I was able to collect more of the catalysts afterwards after the event finished. So now I have it at 3 stars. We'll go over the requirements going from 1 star to 2 star to 3 stars. But for now, what I want to do is I want to evolve it to 4 stars. We'll take a look at the stats, and then we're going to go ahead and try and use it in action. And I'm also going to show you some of the other cards that you could potentially use for you to get yourself the catalyst to start ascending your legend cards. So let's go ahead and evolve. So in order to evolve a legend Ray to 4 stars, you need to have 1 ascended Ray crown. So you can only get the crown for Ray if you actually defeat Ray in a duel. So we're gonna go ahead and craft this. So you need 1 Ray crown, which requires 20 shards, and then you can also you'll also need to get 1 tier. So I was able to get a full tier in the last fight there. So I was really lucky there in that I got a full tier rather than just shards. And you do also need 2 ascended essences. You need 5 fire god skulls and also 1 full pentaric gem. So we've got all of these. Let's go ahead and evolve. We need 15,000 evolution stones. So we're going to go ahead and evolve it. Now we have Ray up at 4 stars, and it looks like the skin was originally momentarily taken off, but it's reapplied here. So now we've got Ray at 4 stars. This is the highest level that you can ascend her to. If you take a look at the stats, generally some of the changes are the following. The first one is her leadership skill goes from 300 up to 400% now for the damage and health for all of your fire heroes. This includes any slayers or commanders. And it still breaks 7 armor in the regular legend trial, so that hasn't changed. Battle skill also increases the self attack by a little bit more. Instead of 200, it is now at 250%, and then it does a nuke of all the enemies for 20,000% of attack. The passive ability is the same. It still generates 4 power gems every 4 turns, but what's mostly the improvement here is its counter skill. So what counter skill Purge X does is it's a level 10 counter skill that will remove all buffs from enemies. So that includes things like fear or dodge or might. Any of those will be considered as buffs. So now that I have it, you can also see I can level it up to 140. So it will have pretty good stats, and I can use this in any commander or slayer event. And so for now, a lot of people generally would say like it's really useless as a card, but I still think that there's a lot of good use to it, because all of us will have at least 1 legend Generation 1 legend card, and I think that it is still something that if you don't generally have if you're on a low budget, you don't generally have a lot of good teams, I think being able to ascend these legends higher is going to be a really good way for you to get some additional power level into your teams. And so let's go over like how you could actually defeat these legends in the duels. And so if you take a look, here are the 5 different legends here, and depending on the team that you use, you can actually 1-key them. So for me, when I was attacking Ray, I was using this setup here, using the Phantom Unseen, and with a single card, because of her ability to fill the board power gems, I could actually get it into I can actually defeat Ray with just a single key. And now, of course, if you don't have some of the cards that I'll be showing, you'll probably need to use 3 keys. You might need multiple attacks, but the point here is you can earn all of the necessary shards for getting your ascended legend into 2 star to 3 stars and to eventually 4 stars. I think it's really worth it, especially since this is something you can earn for free. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and take a look at some of the other cards first that I have sort of listed here, and we're going to change our grouping. So if you change it to group 2, here's some of the cards that I was kind of thinking about as potential cards that you could use for taking on the legends. So for Dark, you could use Draconic Scoundrels, or you could use Blitzkrieg Beast, and also Frozen Devastation. Now, all of these cards are currently available in the Proving Ground store. I'll show you that to you. And also, a lot of people received a copy of Making You for free. These are all cards that can spawn a lot of power gems, and Making You also boosts itself so that you can attack it. Now, of course, you can also go with if you want to go dark, you can also go with some of the other booster cards. So, for example, you could, if you had it, you could also go with Fire, Immortal Killer, and that would be for example, the Perceptive Gurus. Or you can use, if you don't have Perceptive Gurus, you can use the Ultra Rare form. But this card, for example, Perceptive Gurus, what it does is whenever you get attacked, you will boost your own attack by 1200%. And so by being able to activate your battle skills and being able to attack, you could potentially also get a lot of power there. But the challenge here is you only have a single card, so you're going to have to also make sure that you can generate enough power gems and survive long enough to defeat it. And so what we're going to do here is, since we have a lot of Earth cards I was showcasing, I'm going to go ahead and do an attack on Ray. So we're going to go ahead and summon Ray right now. Not Ray, we're going to summon Keta. We're going to summon Keta, and let's go ahead and do a duel using one of the cards that I was showcasing. And so in order to do that, let's go into battle. And we're going to go ahead and choose a team, all right? And so we're going to go to group 2, and let's take a look here. So we can use Making You. Now, the thing you want to do is you don't want to just bring in one card, even though it's only a leader card. What you want to do is you want to bring in a full gamut of Earth Immortal cards, because Making You boosts all Earth Immortal killer cards. So bring in all of the Earth Immortal cards, including the commander ones, so that you can also mix your relics. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start by 1 key, because I want to save my keys. If I just use 3 keys for all my attacks, I'm not going to be able to showcase this much longer. And so I'm going to use 1 key for now, but I'm going to also sort of use this opportunity to sort of show you how much damage you could potentially deal. And so the thing with Making You is you will be able to generate 6 power gems at the beginning of every turn. And also you can activate his skill every turn also. So here what we have is, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate the battle skill, and then we're going to also do a gem swap every turn to see how much damage we can deal. So what you want to do is you want to save enough power gems. So this is with 1 key, all right? So with 1 key, it doesn't quite look like it can deal that much damage, but keep in mind that as we build up in intensity, the amount of damage is also going to increase. So you can see that we were able to go up by a little bit. We went up to 290, I believe 298 million or so, and we're trying to go up to 100 trillion. All right, and so we're gonna start building up. So this is 289. That's okay. So what we're gonna do is we can also look for ways to save up. And so this is an example of a team that you could potentially use. Now I'm using just a single key to show you what it would be like. More likely, what you'll want to do is you'll want to use 3 keys. And then what you can do also is you can farm your power gems that's on the board. So like here, what you want to do is you can increase the total number of power gems that you see on the board. And so when you do a match, you're going to increase the total amount of damage that you can deal. And so with this, we went up to 694. Now keep in mind that if you were to use 3 key attack, you will be doing 5 times more damage. So even though it doesn't seem very impressive right now, you'll be able to do more damage. And this is with just a single card. And I'm using this card that doesn't actually use a nuke. And so this is one example. What we can do is we can also show other options, also just so we can sort of see what are some of the possible outcomes here. So with a single key, obviously, this is not going to be able to defeat it in time. But you can see as time goes on, I am able to get more and more damage. I'm already up to 700 with a single attack here. And so I can, what I could also choose to do is I could also go very fast and build up the intensity to a higher level. Right now, I'm just at 300 because it builds slow because I only have 1 card. The way this intensity works is it builds up based on the number of power gems you have. So we're at 350 now. And so we're going to go ahead and activate here. And I want to correct what I said about intensity here. Like, it doesn't actually matter the number of heroes you have. That was the old relics here. So in this case, we're going up by 25 at a time. So it's actually not too bad. Okay, and so if you can go up, if you can use 3 keys, I think this is a potential. There's potential here, especially if you farm it well. All right, and so like with a single key, we were able to deal. I'm going to just kind of let this go here. So with a single key, we dealt about 5 trillion. And so with 3 keys, we're looking at maybe about 25 trillion with the single card. But I think you can actually do better if you do a little bit of farming. Okay. And so 25 trillion, that means 4 attacks. And so 4 attacks with 3 keys each, that's 12 keys. So this is for somebody who doesn't have a very good team. So using 12 keys to attack, to gain some of these really difficult to obtain materials for your legends doesn't seem like a bad deal. All right. And so like I said, you can also use some of the other cards. So Draconian Scoundrels is also the same thing. So you could also get them in the Proving Ground store. So if you look in the Proving Grounds in the store, this is where I was talking about some of the older heroes are available, so that if you want to still be using your coins to get some of the older heroes, you can. So Frozen Devastation is about to go at the end of this season. Same thing with United Tours, that is also going to be available until the end of this season. And then Blitzkrieg. These are all heroes that are going to be leaving at the end of the season, so they will be gone afterwards. Then you also have Draconian Scoundrels that's going to be around for another season. You can also use the Devilish Duel. This is also a very, very good card because the count, what you do is you just build up your intensity, and then you can use this card every 4 turns. You'll be able to bring up a lot of power gems. And like I said, there are a lot of possibilities. It's all about using a single card to maximize the number of power gems you have so that you could actually deal some damage. All right, so what I want to do now is take a look at Rei as a card that you can use in Guild versus Guild because of her ability to, to actually purge and remove all buffs from enemies. So that's a counter skill that includes, like I said, fear, counterattack, and also might, for example. And to help me through this, just to showcase how it works, I'm going to use Fel Clan Bomber, which you can easily get from a campaign level 2-2 or Elite 2-2 are both where you can farm for those cards. It is a turn delay card, and I'm using Immolating Fae as well as Exalted Champions as the cards that are really good for Guild versus Guild, but I'm mixing it up a little bit. This is not typically what you would use, but what this one, Immolating Fae does is when you activate the battle skill, it will also dispel a debuff from the enemy, so this really helps also. And so we're going to go ahead and try this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of turns here on the first boss, mostly because when you activate Immolating Fae, you're going to already dispel fear, and so we're not going to be able to see Rei in action here. So we're going to go ahead and turn delay here, and let's see if the first turn Rei is going to be able to dispel here. So you should see dispel fear. So here you go. So on the first turn, I was able to actually get Rei to dispel. So that's actually really cool. And so let's go ahead and do an attack right now and see how much damage we can deal here. And so, one thing to consider here too is, the very next boss is going to be counterattack. All right. So this is you'll. It's not a guarantee. That's the thing. It's definitely not a guarantee for you to be able to dispel everything. But here we go. We just dispel fear once again. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and basically do a gem swap again and see if we're able to take it out here, because then we can also take out counterattack if we don't actually dispel it. And so here by this turn, we should have our battle skills ready to go. Oh, I guess it's going to be one more turn. And so this is where we're going to have to see. So we're going to go ahead and do a turn delay and see if Rei will be able to dispel counterattack this time, because that is the more important one. If we can't dispel counterattack, then we're not going to be able to survive this next hit. And so unfortunately, in this case, it also it's relentless counterattack 11. So here it is. This is counterattack 11. So we have a much lower chance of countering, but we're able to dispel that so that we can continue on. So I'm going to go ahead and quit out here because I think this is a very important thing to talk about before I end the episode. So against some defenders that are ascended, you'll see here, for example, Caboclonics, which is an ascended defender. It has a relentless skill fear 10. Okay, so when it's 10 against 10, it's about 60% success rate. I think 60% is about right. And then Treacherous Maeve, you are looking at defender skill of relentless counterattack 11. Now, when you're talking about 11 versus 10, the success rate goes way down from 60% down to, I think, something like 40 or even maybe 30%. So it's really, really low possibility for you to be able to counter that. And so if you're using Rei and you're going up against really high level defenders, this still won't be a really viable solution per se. But it is at least something that can help with the sort of mid-tier level defenders. Okay, so if you're going up against defenders that have level 10, then at least this gives you a chance at dispelling those really difficult to deal with counter skills. So if you didn't have a solution before, hopefully this offers you something. And so my last sort of parting thoughts about, is it worth ascending these legend cards? Personally, for me, it's just that I love it just because it is something you can do for free. Like up until they introduced the Legend Duels, I could not get my my Ray ascended past 1 star because those items are so hard to get. So with the duels now, it is a lot easier to get. When you go in and you finish an attack, you will earn a lot of catalyst that is necessary for you to upgrade. And so if you go into the Legend Trials here, what I would recommend is once you've identified a team that you can use to take down these Corellian bosses, and I have made quite a few videos on how to take them down. Once you've taken them down, go into the Legend Duels and pick the one that you like the most. Pick the one that you want to ascend to 4-star and go with it. And try to use, you'll start with 3 keys, but eventually, depending on the cards you have, you could also use 1 key. But anyways, keep going for it because you can get the ascended, crown shards, tier shards, and also along the way you'll be able to get also a lot of crowns too. And so a lot of really good catalysts along the way. And this is the best part, is this is something you can earn for free between events. So I highly definitely recommend that. So that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will probably work on Kata next, since that is what I started. But I am going to sort of showcase that along the way once I get them. All right. So thank you so much for joining me for this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it, and if this is something that excites you. What else should Legendary Team bring into the mix to make this game more exciting and more enjoyable? Comment down below and let me know. And I will see you next time. Take care now. Bye.